Spring brings warmer temperatures, changing pressures, and rain, which are all favorable conditions for termites. Termite expert Jennifer Fox has advice for homeowners on the 20 hot spots to look out for signs of termite damage. Good morning to you, Jennifer.
Good morning, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, although some of these conditions don't sound so good for us, is this the time of year that's sort of a swarm for termites? What kind of conditions do we need to be aware of?
It is National Termite Awareness Week, so we want to make people aware of the fact that we are right in the beginning of that season. So as the temperatures heat up, we get into spring, we get a little bit more rainfall, the humidity starts to come up. That is the perfect time for termites to swarm out and start new colonies and really potentially do some damage to homes.
And there's 20 cities that in particular are kind of hot spots for termites. Do you know if Milwaukee or our area is on that list?
Milwaukee hasn't made one of the top 20 this year. Rounding out the top 3 spots, actually all 3 are in California. So we have Los Angeles, San Jose, and San Diego. But not being on the top 20 list doesn't make anybody safe by any means.
So what makes those cities so high, though, for termite infestation?
A lot of it is the amount of termites that we get. So it just, again, it's the perfect match of humidity and a little bit of rainfall. That's kind of what makes them go up on the list. And that does tend to change from year to year.
Now, there are also hot spots in our home that we should look out for. There's 20 of those as well that can really help us see if there's termite damage. What are those spots that we should keep an eye out for?
Absolutely. So homeowners, what they can do is be a little bit of an inspector on their own, take a preliminary look around the home. They want to be looking for things like discarded wings. The termites, when they come in, they actually will chew off their wings, and then they'll get into the wood themselves, so they'll leave the wings behind. What they will do is they'll create these mud tubes. That's how they travel back and forth between the home and the soil. Then we have things like the wood damage itself, which we've got a big piece of wood here that actually came out of a home, and you can see all the mud inside of it and the damage done to it, the actual damage itself. This can be very, very costly. Some of the average pricing for the repairs can be around $8,000, and that's not necessarily ever covered by homeowners insurance, so it can be a lot out of someone's pocket.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I would think for homeowners is that financial burden that it can cause when you're having this sort of damage.
Absolutely.
So what else can people look out for?
Absolutely. That's a lot of money to have set aside.
Absolutely.
The other thing to look out for is not necessarily just one type of wood. We also have some hardwood. So this is somebody's floorboard here. Contents, look out for them in contents as well. We've got a damaged picture frame. Also things like china hutches, different cabinets. And so if you see anything at all or anything that even looks suspicious, some discoloration, some bubbling in the paint, make sure you have an inspector come out and take a look for you, because we really want to get ahead of it so you don't get this type of damage in your home. So we want to take a look and hopefully get ahead of any infestations that they have.
Yeah, and if people know that this has been a problem in the past or they see some of those early signs, what can they do to prevent it so that this year they're not having that issue?
So unfortunately, there's no way to really prevent them all the way, but there are some tips that people can take a hold of and hopefully give them a little bit better odds against nature. Things like moving mulch away from a foundation, not having wood piles right up against the foundation. Anything made of cellulose or wood, that's what the termites like to eat. So we really want people to not set up a buffet right next to the house. So by having that all moved back, then that doesn't give them direct access right into the home once they've already infested some wood on the outside. They only need about 1/32 of an inch to get into a crack. So that's not much wider than the width of a fingernail, so that's really not a whole lot of room that you're working with. And then as homes tend to settle and shift, that naturally creates little cracks in the foundations and whatnot. So we want to really hedge some bets that people can try and keep them as far away from the house as possible.
And Jennifer, if you suggest that there's a problem starting, what do? Do you call someone right away?
Absolutely. Really, every year you should have your house taken a look at, kind of like going to the doctor, but a checkup for your home. So we want to have an inspector come out and take a look at everything for you, and then should there be a problem, we can give you a tailored, customized solution for your home. And
where's the best place that people can go for that kind of information?
The best place would be our website, and that's www.terminex.com.
Love it. Thanks so much for joining us, Jennifer. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Absolutely.